Is my best friend's wedding really coming back? Julia Roberts laughs at the question, flashing that unmistakable charm that defined the 1997 classic. That's what I hear, she teases. Nothing's official, yet just people talking and a lot of hope. Her co-star nods in agreement. We do love hope, she adds. We've got to bring hope back. We've missed it. The conversation quickly turns nostalgic. For Roberts, who has spent decades as one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, the idea of returning to one of her most iconic roles carries a mix of curiosity and affection. She remembers what it felt like to debut the film and how it shaped her life. Last night was incredible, she reflects. Watching the movie again, talking about being 17 when I moved to New York now, 57 nights surreal. Opening the New York Film Festival was one of my top 3 New York moments. It's thrilling and deeply personal. This film means so much to me, and having this experience feels like a flower in its lapel, something to savor. When asked about the other 2 top moments in New York, Roberts laughs and deflects. I'll tell you at lunch, she teases, keeping her secrets close. Her co-star presses, does it have to do with Pretty Woman? Roberts smiles knowingly. No, that's a hard boundary, she jokes. Impenetrable. As the discussion continues, the cast reminisces about filming, chemistry, and camaraderie. There's that iconic moment between Hank and Elma, the interviewer notes, and you laugh that signature Julia Roberts laugh. Roberts laughs again at the memory. We really bonded, she says warmly. We all got the chance to hang out before filming, played games, had meals together, gathered around the table. No swimming though, she admits. I can float, but I don't really swim. Everyone laughs. Yeah, me neither, another adds. But we had a great time. It was fun just being together. The interviewer recalls a small but memorable moment. Roberts with a delicate champagne glass in hand, a little sparkle of mischief in her eyes. Michael wasn't there because he was on Broadway, someone chimes in. Oh, you were on Broadway? Roberts asks. Tony nominee, she adds playfully. And remember, she laughs, I'm always ordering the wrong thing by mistake. The conversation shifts to performance and depth. You tend to choose people who worship you, not necessarily because of merit, a character once said to Roberts in a film. That line prompts the interviewer to compliment her co-star. Michael, you were brilliant in this. The chemistry between you and Elma's character was incredible. You brought humor and energy that elevated the whole movie. He nods thoughtfully. Comedy and connection are essential, he says. There's a line in the film about how this generation is afraid to speak up, worried about saying the wrong thing. But we have to talk. It's essential as individuals, as citizens, as a country, as a race. We need to speak and, just as importantly, to listen. Nothing changes unless we all calm down and talk to each other. If that doesn't happen, we're a mess and, honestly, we already are. My dad used to say, let's solve the problems of the world, and we'd go for walks. I miss him every day, but that's what his life was about, finding solutions together. That's what we need to do. Slow down, listen, and work as a team. The energy softens. Roberts listens intently, eyes glistening with emotion. That's beautiful, she says softly. That's what stories like this remind us of, how human connection can fix what's broken. The interviewer circles back to rumors of a sequel. So, if my best friend's wedding did return, what would that look like? Roberts grins. I honestly don't know, she admits. It's just whispers and wishful thinking. But if there's a way to revisit those characters with honesty and heart, who wouldn't want to see where they are now? Maybe Julianne learned a few new dance moves, she adds with a wink. I've got moves you've never seen. It's a fitting answer, hopeful but grounded. The original film was a romantic comedy with a bittersweet twist, and Roberts understands its emotional core. That story was about love and friendship, but also about self-awareness, she reflects. Julianne wasn't perfect. She made mistakes. That's what made her real. If we ever returned, I'd want to honor that truth. The interviewer notes how Roberts' authenticity continues to resonate with fans. When people talk about you, he says, they always mention your laugh, your warmth, and your honesty. Roberts smiles. Well, laughter's my favorite part of life, she replies. It keeps me grounded. As the cast discusses the new film project they're promoting, Roberts is reminded of her early days. When I moved to New York at 17, I was just this small-town girl with a dream, she says. To be standing here now, decades later, opening a film festival, it's surreal. You don't plan moments like that. You just live them and try to appreciate them. The interviewer laughs. So, you're saying this is one of your top 3 moments in New York? Roberts nods. Absolutely. And the best part is getting to share it with people I love. Later, talk turns philosophical. We live in a time where everyone's afraid of saying the wrong thing, her co-star reflects. But silence doesn't solve anything. Roberts agrees. It's about grace, she says, giving people the space to be imperfect, to learn, and to connect. We can disagree, but we can still be kind. They share stories about family, inspiration, and personal growth. One of the great things about our characters, Roberts explains, is that they all have coping mechanisms. For some it's music, for others food or humor. For me, what brings joy changes all the time, but one constant is my husband, Danny Motor. The interviewer laughs knowingly. I knew you were going to say that. Roberts smiles. It never changes, she says. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but always there. Her co-stars join in playfully. Danny Motor. They cheer. He's an amazing man and a wonderful father. Roberts beams. We love him. The conversation feels less like an interview and more like old friends catching up. Every story leads to laughter, every memory to gratitude. The talk about Hope, what began as a casual remark about sequel rumors, becomes a thread that ties everything together. Hope, Roberts says thoughtfully, is what keeps us moving. Whether it's in love, in work, or in the world, we have to believe things can get better. She pauses, then adds with a grin, and maybe that's why people still talk about my best friend's wedding. It wasn't just a rom-com, it was about learning to let go, to forgive, and to keep hoping. As they wrap up, the interviewer circles back to the start. So, Julia, he asks, should we really keep hoping for that sequel? Roberts laughs. Hope away, she says, because if it ever happens, I promise I'll dance. That infectious laugh, the one that made moviegoers fall in love with her decades ago, echoes once more. Whether or not a sequel ever materializes, one thing is certain. Julia Roberts' spirit, humor, and grace remain timeless. The discussion drifts toward gratitude, legacy, and the beauty of storytelling. Acting isn't just pretending, Roberts explains. It's connecting with the audience, with your castmates, with yourself. Every film leaves a little piece of you behind. That's what makes it worth it. Her co-star nods. That's why people respond to your work, he says. You make it feel real. Roberts blushes slightly. Well, I try, she says with a humble laugh. And I think that's why a film like My Best Friend's Wedding still means something after all these years. It's messy and human, just like real love. The interviewer ends with a final reflection. We started this talk with rumors, he says, and ended with hope. Maybe that's fitting. Roberts smiles, eyes bright. Hope is a beautiful place to end, she says softly, or maybe to begin again. She waves to the camera as the lights dim, that dazzling smile lighting up the room, proof that even after decades in Hollywood, Julia Roberts still knows how to steal the show.